Have you ever wondered why Joseph is important to the story of Christmas? Welcome back to Small Talk Theology, and all this month we're looking at Christmas through the scriptures. In Matthew's gospel, the story does not revolve around Mary and her experience, but it actually revolves around Joseph. All of Matthew chapter 1 is devoted to Joseph. There's a genealogy at the beginning that talks about how Jesus was a descendant of Abraham and a descendant of David, and he was a biological descendant of both these men. But what's interesting about the genealogy is it traces it to Joseph, and then to Joseph was a husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. Now, following this, it tells us the story of Joseph, how when Mary returned from visiting Elizabeth, he discovered that she was with child, and he sought to divorce her quietly. Now, because they were engaged under the custom of the Jews at that time, you had to get a legal divorce because they were under a binding commitment, even though they hadn't consummated their marriage. Well, while Joseph is contemplating this, an angel visits him in a dream and says, "Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, because what is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit, and she will give birth to a son, and you, Joseph, will name him Jesus, and he will be called Emmanuel," which means God with us. Now, why is this so important that Joseph names Jesus? Well, the reason is because when Joseph gives Jesus his name, he is identifying himself as Jesus's legal father. And that's extremely important because the right to the throne of David is only ever passed from father to son. It's never passed through the mother. In other words, if Jesus's only claim was that he was a biological descendant through Mary, he would have no right to be the king of Israel. He has to have this right passed on from a father, which means for Jesus to legally be the king of Israel under Jewish law, for him to be this Messiah, his father has to be a descendant of David. And you go, but Joseph's not his father. But adoptions still count. In the Roman world, even if you adopted a child, they could still legally inherit the throne. Well, I hope that blesses you today. God bless you guys. Live for Jesus and have a Merry Christmas.